Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Apostle Helen Rudokin, coming to you on the waves of Majesty Christian Television Network. We are here today to have a very special interview, and I want to say thank you for watching us and also for welcoming me in your home. I don't know which device you are using right now to watch this broadcast, but all over the world, we know that we are being seen at this moment. And we want to say thank you. We appreciate your partnership with us and you being our fan. So, today, I believe that some of you are very, very aware of the campaign that has been going on regarding female genital mutilation, alias FGM. All over the world, there have been a campaign being carried out, to eradicate this awful thing that women have been going through in some parts of the world. So today we have experts who are here to tell us the impact of the campaign they have carried and the impact of this campaign on eradicating FGM globally. We want to have a global and a broader perspective on how far this whole campaign have gone. So permit me to introduce you to my experts who are here, who are also very good friends. I start with the one sitting next to me. She is Martin Boss. Martin Boss is an anthropologist. Martin, welcome to Majesty TV.
Thank you, Helen.
Are you excited to be here?
Yes, I'm very happy.
I can see the way you are smiling. You really want to digest this topic.
I'm very happy that you invite me.
Because everything about FGM is like it's in your bones.
I really like to educate, and I really like to do research.
Thank you so much. So you've done a lot to be able to empower our audience this afternoon.
Yeah, I've been working with FSAN for quite some years, and also inviting people for FSAN to work for the GGD, which is my other job, to have educating people in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Who are coming from countries where FGM is still a tradition.
All right, thank you so much. And then our next guest, who is also a bosom friend, well, she is really somebody I've grown to love. From the very time I met her, I think I just fell in love because of the wonderful work she has been doing regarding to FGM. This is also a project manager in FSAN. Help me receive Mrs. Zara Nale. Zara, please. Welcome.
Thank you very
Welcome
much,
to Majesty TV.
Thanks very much.
I love you so much because you've been very committed and devoted.
Yeah, this is not my first time, to be here.
Yeah.
I have been several times, even in the Voice of Naja.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to be here today also.
Thank you so much.
Discuss with the audience and you and what we have done the last.
Yeah, you were once the ambassador for
FGM.
For FGM here in Netherlands.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. It's a pleasure having you. Now, without wasting further time, we will ask our audience, please, should you have any question for these noble women who are in the studio to make justice to this very topic, please feel free to give us a call on 020-33 74160. Should you be watching us from outside the Netherlands, remember you can always put plus, then 31, then 20, then 3374160. I repeat, plus, then 31, then 20, then 3374160. And those of you who are our audience, you're watching on Facebook, you can as well ask your questions and then we will read them out. So you are not missing out at all. Wow. So that is it for now. Mm-hmm. Ladies, this campaign or this broadcast is for us to know how far your campaign have been, how far you have gone globally in this campaign on FGM. So would you please tell us? I start with Zara Nale.
Okay. I think since today is it is 2017 this year.
Yeah.
But about the campaign against FGM, it started since 1948. It's almost 70 years ago. And there were several, actions.
70 years ago?
Yeah, nearly,
Wow.
when it started.
Yeah.
As a global.
Yeah.
I think there were in actions, there were, for example, resolutions, there were conventions, there were several protocols have been produced or developed the last 6 years, 50 years,
Yeah.
and aimed to end the FGM
Yeah.
in a global issue.
Yeah.
Even in Africa, we have in a protocol, a Maputo protocol against FGM. We
Yes.
have Inter-African Committee that set up 1984. In European level, you know, there is a lot of resolution against FGM. For
Yes.
example, 2012, I think if I look the last 5 years, also they intensified about all this global, you know, issue against the FGM. In European level now, since 2012, a resolution, you know, focusing to end the FGM. And then, for example, 2015, also that there was a sustainability, you know, goals. They put also about the FGM and also the early marriage and the forced marriage, all the harmful traditional practice.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But that is the last. It was a lot of campaigns also in Europe, in Africa. The issue now FGM. Before it was in Africa.
Yeah.
But you know, due to the migration, due to the refugee, it is all over the world.
Wow.
From Africa to Australia to Canada, it's everywhere. Because the people who went there, they got also their, like, you know, their, through their, you know, luggages.
Yeah. They carry their luggage and go with their culture.
Still, yeah. But there is also a lot of campaigns, especially in Africa. There is also a law against FGM. And I think the last 5 years, 10 years, I think thanks to the internet and the social media,
Yeah.
I think that, you know, there is a lot of positive things has been done. But on the other side, if you look, the prevalence is still very high.
All right.
We will come back that.
We hold on to that. Do you have anything, honey, to add, Martin?
I think the most important thing of the projects we are doing here in the Netherlands and in Europe, as I've been hired by EFSAN to do project research in European project, is to spread knowledge.
Okay.
Yes, so people know the tradition but don't know exactly what the act is. So it's very, very important to invite people to receive knowledge from us.
Wow.
And this is what the start of the campaign is really to speak about it. Because in a lot of countries it's a big taboo talking about sexuality and FGM.
Yeah.
And before I was working in Sudan and Sierra Leone, I experienced that it is very hard to discuss.
Yeah.
But as a medical professional was working in a hospital, I saw it happening with my own eyes. Women having a delivery and then having the consequences of FGM. So that's where you start thinking, is it possible to educate women about just their bodily, medically consequences of FGM and the anatomical, physical
Would you use this opportunity, Martin, to just look into the camera and tell us a bit of the problems that women go through because of FGM?
That's the consequences.
Yes, women, you know, in the Netherlands we call it girl circumcision. Mm-hmm. Women are going to be circumcised whilst they are smalls. In some countries it differs in a lot of countries. In some countries girls are like 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
So they trust in their parents that the parents think this is a good thing.
Okay.
But then they go through a pain. So the consequences are pain, and then after the FGM they have pain by urinating, going through a pain whilst having their first period, menstruation. There are bodily medical consequences, but also physically and psychological consequences because of the stress and the trauma caused by being circumcised. It will come back to the women when they give birth or when they have sexual contact. They remember the pain. The pain is the biggest thing they remember, and the consequences are infections, urinated infection, pelvic infections. They can have cysts. all sorts of bodily complaints. But the most important thing is, I think, that we can discuss what are the consequences. What are the consequences of FGM, and what are the consequences women have who are not circumcised, so that they recognized I'm a woman and it's okay. I'm having my menstruation, I'm having my period, and that there is pain considered. But if you are circumcised, there is an addition of complications because of that.
Yes.
But if you don't speak about it, if you don't know your anatomics, if you don't realize
yes.
you don't realize that it's because of FGM. So
Really?
the teaching of people, the teaching of men and women about their body, about a vagina who is not circumcised and a vagina who is circumcised, and there are WHO, the World Health Organization, defined 3 types. So there are different types in different countries. There are different ways of circumcision, but all of the types have their consequences.
Yes.
And they, the positive consequences is maybe culturally seen, but health-wise there is no positive consequence. It's all extra luggage of being aware.
And some of the things we are thinking they are cultural positive consequences, I think it's just a myth.
Yes.
It's a myth. It's not real because we have to take what the medical aspect of it. What is the positive? What is the consequences in the medical aspect of it? Okay. So the consequences is what we have to look at, because if the consequences outweighs the positive, if there's any, because for me I don't think there's anything positive in it.
But you know, people only realize it when you start talking about it together. If women are speaking together, like Somali women speak with other Somali women, or with other people from Guinea, and speak about the tradition, and then they say, okay, my parents did it because they thought it was right. But as soon as you start knowing it's a myth, there is no necessity of being circumcised, the pain reveals, the pain stays. The
so, but you made mention that these people are being circumcised from the age of 5 to 6, that you made mention about. So are you saying that from that 5 to 6, they carry the pain they have by that time to adulthood? Is that what you're saying? Or that there are some other countries where FGM is practiced, women are being circumcised at a later age?
Yes. There is, especially from the West Africa. And
these women, your voices are very low. Can we hear your...
I think it depends, where you come from. Each country is different from the others. There is also in a certain African countries who circumcise their daughters, for example, especially in West Africa, 16 and 17 years old.
Wow.
Even
just before marriage.
Just before marriage.
That one would be very painful.
And then some of them, even before delivery the baby, they circumcise. It depends where you come from. So the Somali and the Sudan, and some of them maybe 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. There is also some people from Ethiopia, in Eritrea, it's in about 3 months of 80 days. It depends where you come from. It's a baby. And some of them is 12 and 14 years. So I think that the consequence, it always goes with you. It depends where you come from, and it depends where, even, for example, now in Senegal, it's only 26% is practicing about the FGM. It depends also, all the African women, they are not circumcised. It depends where you come from, which region, which, tribe you belong, it is different. Like the Somali, where I born and grown up, is another issue. Because everybody is circumcised. In Sudan, for example, South Sudan has nothing to do with the FGM, while the North Sudan, they are practicing. In the Sierra Leone, for example, the people in the Freetown, they know very little about the FGM. But the outside, it depends where you come from. Look in Ghana, if you look at Ghana now, the percentage is in about 4%.
They are so small.
They're so small. But when you see the upper east of Ghana, of west, there are more. So it depends where you come from.
Wow. What would you say about the effect of your campaign in the lives of the victims of FGM? Has it been very successful? This campaign, has it been successful in your own, if you look at what you've been doing?
Yeah.
Okay? So how would you evaluate it? Have you been successful? Has it been successful in the lives of those who are victims of FGM?
We do evaluate our programs, and one of the things is that people are aware
Yes, awareness.
of
That's good.
FGM, are aware of reasons and the not being necessary of these reasons. Like people thought it was a religious duty, they are aware it's not the case.
Okay.
It's explained by religious leaders.
Yeah.
People know it has a bad effect on health.
Okay.
People know it's culture, and culture, it's so nice that culture can change because you travel or because some other people travel to your country. So culture is changing.
Yeah.
But awareness also brings sadness. So if people are aware that they have pain, that they are in pain, and the pain is not necessary, then they all of a sudden realize, and the psychological complaints can be big, and they need assistance to talk about it and to be educated again. Because if all the women around you have the same complaints, you think it's normal.
Yeah.
If you then travel to a country where people are not circumcised, even if they are the same religion as you, and then you realize, okay, something is the matter, maybe it was not necessary, and then you feel the pain different than before.
Yeah,
if you
so-
think it's necessary, and then you can carry the pain. If you think it's not necessary, then the pain is bigger. So that is also why we evaluate, and people are, if they are educated here in the Netherlands, they are very, very eager to go back to their country to give education.
Wow, this is awesome. Yeah, say
I think,
something.
yeah, coming back to your question about the impact, you know that I'm also a trainer.
Yeah.
And I've seen that FGM now become a discussable subject among the communities.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, before it was a taboo.
Yeah.
I remember that even the man and woman you cannot bring together. It was very difficult. I think that, especially in the Netherlands, the last 10 years, we have did a lot of information, a lot of awareness campaigns. The people, they know that FGM has nothing to do with the religion, things like that. Still there are some people who are fixing about the religions, it exists. I'm not saying that everybody stop it about the FGM, but you can see the impact. That at least the people, they know that FGM is not allowed in the Netherlands. In addition to that, thanks to the social media nowadays, you know, it helps especially the youth people that you can reach a very, you know, broader audience. So it depends, I think that, you know, even the technical or the technology also help us very much. So the impact, you see it, that the people now that many parents decided also not to circumcise their daughters.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for Martin. Yeah. If you are just tuning in, this is Majesty Christian Television Network. We are bringing to you the campaigns of FGM, why it is important to get it eradicated. FGM means female genital mutilation. So we have experts here in the studio who have done a lot of research and who are deeply involved in this whole campaign. By the way, this broadcast is powered by FSAN. So they are organizations that have really been dedicated in bringing information regarding to female genital mutilation all over here in Europe and in the Netherlands. So we're excited to have them. And if you have any question, please feel free to give us a call in the studio line, which is 020-3374 160, or send forth your questions through our Facebook, or you can also tweet us. We will all read what you've tweeted and we would pass it over to the experts who are here. Now, ladies, can we talk about the victims of FGM? Before I go to my second question, may I ask you honestly, is this FGM thing peculiar to only Africa?
It's not.
Is it peculiar to only Africans?
No, absolutely not. You know, nowadays in the FGM, they name a global issue. And why is a global issue? It is on Africa, well, because it's about 29 countries is practicing about the FGM.
29?
Countries in Africa.
Wow.
Although within Africa also, as I said before, we are different in religion and, you know, in location and everything. But now even there is in some cases also in India. So Bahora, a community college, they are practicing FGM.
Mm-hmm.
They discovered also nowadays about something like the Amazon area in Peru.
Really?
Yeah, they are practicing. There is here and there, in Asia, in everything, like the
Indonesia.
Kurds also, nowadays. Kurds in Iraq, they are practicing about the FGM.
Wow.
In Yemen also, it's in about now 23%, they are practicing. Maybe not the Yemen, the people from the Yemen originally, but through the migration and through the refugees, the people they are going there and the practicing. But the people they are surprised, like Indonesia, which is the largest country Islam. Some of them they are practicing about the FGM. Unlike India, not everybody, but like this Bahora community,
Yeah.
it is now focusing about a lot of women now. They started a campaign against it, and they talk also openly nowadays in the television and everywhere in the communities of Bahora,
Yeah.
in the India. So I think it is not something only for the Africa, but
It has
I think
spread.
it has spread all over the world.
Wow.
That's why it is a global issue and a global campaign.
Yeah, thank you so
It is,
much. Do you have something to add, Martin?
I think what is happening globally actually is that women start to discuss more and also want to know the reason why circumcision is existing, and that's why campaign also within countries where FGM is a tradition are starting.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
wanted to add.
Wow, thank you so much. So, are there some aftercare for victims of FGM?
Women living with FGM.
Yeah, women who are living with FGM. Because I believe in this knowledge that they have gotten, there must be some of them, something is bubbling in their heart on how they can maybe be taken care of. So is there any restoration for them? What's the aftercare for FGM victims?
In the Netherlands, there are a lot of professionals
Okay, let's hear.
speaking about FGM.
Okay.
In the GGD, that's the preventive healthcare in the Netherlands, nurses and doctors have a duty to speak about FGM with mothers and children.
Oh.
And we always say the best prevention of FGM is the aftercare for the mothers.
Tell
Because
us.
as soon as mothers realize that there are women who are not circumcised and that the reason for circumcision are not necessary.
Yeah.
Then they really want to know what is the consequence and where am I suffering from.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
then we start to give information to the mothers and to invite them to a consultation hour. And in the Netherlands, I have a flyer of it. We have
Yes, show it.
it
Yes,
calls
we've seen it.
like this. It is care for women who are already being circumcised.
Yeah.
And we have in 6 cities,
Wow.
Den
awesome.
Haag, Den Bosch, in Groningen, Drenthe, Friesland, Eindhoven, Nijmegen en Rotterdam.
Apeldoorn now.
And in Apeldoorn, we have consultation hour. This is at the GGD. And people can call and then get an appointment so that they can talk with the nurse or a doctor about being circumcised.
You don't have it in Amsterdam because I've just listened to all of these cities you've mentioned.
It's coming up in Amsterdam, but it's
We
not
hope
yet.
So, yeah.
But
we
you
are
know,
processed now to
yeah.
to
But
come.
one important thing is that we work with key figures,
Yeah.
with peer educators, and these peer educators, they inform women, they inform everybody they see, and they say maybe you need aftercare, maybe we can go together to one of these consultation hours, and I will go with you. I will speak for you, because still, if you just arrive, like I work with people who just arrive in the Netherlands.
Yeah, okay.
Then still you bring your luggage from your country and you're not allowed to speak about it because it's a taboo.
Yeah.
But like Sarah and me, we work with people who are living in the Netherlands for 20 years and they want to speak about FGM and about the consequences. And then they tell the women, shall we go with you to this consultation hour so that we can assist? And in most of the places, there are people involved who are nurses and doctors. They are trained,
Okay.
and they have their guidelines. Like this is what doctors and nurses use.
Okay.
And in all the consultation moments they have, they speak with the mother and the father, if the father comes in as well, about the the law and the prevention in the Netherlands.
Can I
for
just look
FGM.
and see what this open? It's also only the doctors and the nurses use this, is that?
Yeah, but there are guidelines for all the health professionals in the Netherlands. They have their own guidelines because
Their own protocols
yeah,
also.
because they have their own contacts, you know.
Wow, this is good. So
So I would like to add something because
yeah.
you know this consultation hours we have also different languages.
Oh, okay.
That the flyers.
Yeah,
we
okay.
have in
The
Dutch
leaflets,
language.
yes.
We have Amharic and Tigrinian, Ethiopian language, Eritrea,
Yeah.
Somali, Arabic, France, and English.
Okay.
So the people they can even read not only Dutch. Then we have different languages.
It's so I'm not so impressed over the explanation you gave to why it has not yet been introduced in Amsterdam.
It
Is it
was
that
in-
Amsterdam
No,
do not
it-
have women who
You are right. You are right. I
yeah,
agree
who
with you.
who want to have aftercare?
Yeah.
It was in Amsterdam
Yeah,
before.
oh.
It had started with the GGD.
Okay.
And then they
It was
handed
not,
it
yeah.
over to Veilig Thuis. And they are
Safe
speaking about it to reinforce it again in Amsterdam. So I'm sure it will happen in this next
It's a process now. I think they will open very soon.
This is a project which started like 2 years ago, and it's still till 2018. So we are involved in opening more consultation
Are there
hours.
some tangible testimonies that have come out of this aftercare, which you think is worthy to speak about on this platform,
Yeah.
so that our listeners can hear?
Maybe I can give an example of one of our sleutelpersonen, a key figure. A key figure is really the intermediate between the people who are, from example, Sudan, living in the Netherlands, and the professionals, and the health professionals.
Oh, okay.
So one of our mediators or key figures, she's from Sudan, and she explained that after she was living in the Netherlands for 10 years,
Yeah.
she was attending a lot of educational sessions, and
Okay, so-
also one of the sessions about aftercare, and she was really scared to look at her own body to see, do I need aftercare? And then all of a sudden she said, I think key figures should be the first ones to look into aftercare.
Yeah.
So she went to a consultation hour. I don't even know where.
Wow.
I think she's living in the north of the Netherlands, but she went to The Hague, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
because she didn't want to go to her in her own city. So she was assisted, but she was having type 3, which is infibulation,
Oh, okay.
which
The most difficult.
involved the closure of the vagina.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I should explain the 3 types, is it? Or
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, go on.
So WHO defined 3 types.
Yes.
Type 1 is the removal of the clitoris. Type 2 is removing of the clitoris and the labia majora and minora. And type 3 is the closure of it, sometimes with the removal of the clitoris, or sometimes they leave the clitoris. But that means
What do you mean by closure of what? The vagina?
closure of the vagina by closing they remove the labia majora and the labia minora, and then
Also
close it through
clitoris, they
stitch,
close it.
and they remove the clitoris, and then they close it by stitching.
So, and they leave a little hole for her to urinate. Is that
And
what
they
you
leave a
mean?
little
Because
hole.
I need a lay person who is listening to this to be able to know what you mean. Yeah.
Maybe we show it's a drawing, and it's very difficult because
This is a medical lesson. It's okay.
It's
Just,
maybe
we can't even see it very well because other doctors come here. They draw the male's organ and people watch and they see some of the.
is it good to see like this?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, yeah.
You see,
Alright,
this is the type where we are talking about.
The most difficult.
So they remove the clitoris, they remove the labia minora and the labia majora, and then they close it. So if you,
They close it. So
You have,
what would the woman do with this?
it's a trouble urinating, it's troubling the menstruation coming out, and it's also troubling to have a sexual contact.
Yeah, because you have nothing there.
You have nothing there. No. So when women realize that the
believe this.
vagina is not
Nee.
that looks like this, there is a big difference between this and this.
Exactly.
So they can understand that there must be consequences for their health.
Jesus, I'm shocked. people's private part can be like this. The vagina can be like this. So in
Some
what
people-
countries are this type practiced?
In Sudan and in Somalia.
in Djibouti,
And
yeah,
in
but
Sierra Leone also, and in some people from Eritrea I also saw it.
I
Yeah.
think now it is this one. This type is only 15% likely.
15%.
Globally.
Comparing global,
Globally,
huh?
yeah.
And the other is 85%. So
But-
even in Somalia now, it's reduction that the people are not using, even those who are in the nomad, but the other people, they are not using much.
But this is wicked for any person to do this to a human being. This is wickedness. So how would that woman say she's a woman if her vagina is this way?
Yeah.
Everything about her have been removed. So
Yeah.
she's existing without anything. Well, if you are watching this broadcast and you have been involved in female genital mutilation, probably you are a victim of, I beg your pardon, of this case we are discussing. Please, I believe, of circumcision. Please, you are free to give us a call on 02033 74160. Ask these experts what you can do. This is the opportunity for you to, open up yourself. Don't die in silence. The experts are here to help you to go further in your life. Yes.
Maybe Helen to add, because I was just telling this experience of the lady from the Sudan. Maybe to add that she felt really helped by speaking about it and hearing from the professional that her vagina will be all right. They assisted her with a small operation to assist her with relieving her from pain, and even all the three types, they have consequences, and if a professional can look into it and assist her in repair, it will have more quality of life. That's the most important thing.
Exactly. Because if you have something like this, I think the confidence of being a woman is gone. You won't have that confidence of going to bed with your husband.
But if you don't know that there are women who are different from this, then you're not. But it starts with gaining knowledge about it.
But the people who are practicing, they are not seeing as that because of
No.
the ignorance and everything. They think it is very beautiful, it is very clean, it is very
The reason,
hygienic. It's so different things, And they see their eyes,
Right, let me go to our next broadcast, our next topic this hour. It has to do with you have been getting involved in religious leaders.
Yes.
So what was the need of you getting the religious leaders involved in this your whole campaign?
Yeah, because the religious leaders, the involvement. The religious leader, the involvement of the religious leaders plays a great role about this subject, because the religious leaders, both Christian, both Muslims, because they are a very big network within the community. So, and then they have, the people, they were in the mosque, they were in the church, they were in the Quranic, schools and everything.
Yeah.
So, and some of the people, they are unfortunately linked with the FGM about the religion, especially for the Islam. So that's why we were thinking we have to start the religious people, even themselves. We started about the 21 April to give them a training, to build their, knowledge about the FGM. And later, as you know also, and you were one of them also, that the 20 May we organized also a big conference.
It was very powerful, yes.
Yeah. And I think it is aimed, to help us, to convince also the people that FGM has nothing to do with the religion.
Exactly, it has nothing to do.
It is a poor cultural thing. That's why I think the involvement of the religious leaders plays a great role in this issue. It is not only for us, but the religious leaders, they are very powerful. Things within their community. That's why we need their help.
Do you think they really received enough training for this? Information about FGM, so which will help them really stand very, very firm. Really, because like somebody like me, you don't try. I will stand firm to talk against it at any point in time.
I think even the religious leaders, I realize they need a lot of information, a lot of knowledge to build their knowledge about this subject, because it is not in the Quran, it is not in the Christian,
In the
everything,
Bible, no.
in the Bible and in everything. I think one training or two training, it's not enough.
No,
So
no.
even we have to empower for them, how to talk about the communication, skills. It is also very important, because it is in a taboo subject, and the taboo subject you have to improve your communication skills and how to convince even the people.
It's true.
Without against their tradition, but they have to they have to learn all these things.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
I'm
the other thing that we realize, maybe Martina, she's also put some more information about the sexuality. Even we heard that they have very, very little knowledge about all these things.
It's true.
And which is very important.
Yeah, very,
subjects,
very.
yeah.
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 Yes, go on.
Maybe I can add that, like before we were speaking about evaluation, and if we do the evaluation with our trainings and training key figures, so that people out of the community, they tell us our leaders need to know, because we trust in our leaders.
Yes.
That's why we say we need to educate leaders. Then the leaders we saw, they say we don't know anything.
Yeah.
And if you remember, we went
terrible, ignorant.
and if we are at the conference, I was doing the part on health and sexuality. It was 3 times really full. The workshop was really full, and people say we need more.
Yes,
we
it's
need
true.
to know how to speak, how to discuss. We need to know the consequences. We don't even know the consequences. How can we provide people with knowledge? And then
When
we say
we don't know. Yeah, exactly.
but then we say we can leave the knowledge to professionals, as long as you want to discuss it, as long as you know how to speak about it and how to motivate people to get more knowledge, because people need to be motivated from within themselves, because they believe that when a leader speaks, they trust you. If you
Of course, that's why the person is a leader.
True.
So I think
So
in this
that's why it's so
campaign,
important.
not only religious leaders,
No,
the
cultural leaders,
community leaders
Yes.
must also be
All the
involved.
stakeholders, traditional leaders and everything.
Teachers, Quranic teachers. We were involved in a project training Quranic teachers, and they discuss in their lessons about FGM, which is very powerful.
It's super. But may I ask you, because we only got aftercare for those who are in the Netherlands. How about women in Africa, please? Aftercare?
No, I think our project is only limited now in Holland.
Okay.
In the EU.
In EU.
Yeah.
European level, we have also in the FGM.
Okay.
So that we are also members from the FGM
Yeah.
in Brussels also. So there is now a discussion going on, building a bridge from Africa and from Europe.
Yeah.
That it's now a hot item within the European.
It has to be, because if you don't extend it to Africa and begin to do something, this whole thing will continue, going on and going on and
Very
going
important.
on. Because I think we have to start it from the source. That's where it is.
Building bridges.
We shouldn't forget that Africa also a lot of campaign going on within Africa.
It has started,
But we wanted to strengthen or to amplify it, but between Africa and Europe, especially the building bridges.
Yeah.
What can we learn from Africa and Africa where they can learn
from us.
To
Yes.
exchange things.
Yeah,
and then we have
yeah.
to involve about the youth, because the youth, they are very important in the
true.
future, because they are the partner, they are the parents in the future. I think the youth is a very, very important to be involved in early stage in the fight against FGM.
It's true.
And
I believe in that too.
second generation,
Yeah.
the second generation who is here in the Netherlands, and they have been educated in school or by FSAN, they are really willing to motivate everybody in their surrounding.
Yeah.
And like we work here also in this conference, there were youth, they were students in university, and they really want to do a lot to motivate their community.
Because the way they see about the FGM and the way they see their parents is completely different.
Well, because of our time, we would like to know, in your work, what else do you think can be done? Okay? How far are you in achieving the things that are necessary? And what is the next left?
Yeah. I think this subject, it is not a subject that we can, abandon within a year of 2 years, even 5 years.
Yeah.
It needs continuation. And then the other thing is, this subject we have to be sustainable. It should be embedded with the other projects, the other activities going on.
Yeah.
So now, the challenge we have a short project.
Yeah.
About 2 years or 3 years, and the project is finished. And then we don't have, a support to go ahead. So
Support
like
has to come.
about the
Yeah.
financial
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
I think now in the Netherlands we have very good work have done the past years, and we would like to continue, especially the role and the municipality should take care about this one to continue. The key figures from the community that we have trained, the professionals, everything should be go ahead, and they have to put, in their program in order to sustain
Exactly.
what we have built the
Because
last 10
if
years.
it doesn't happen that way, it will just slack and
Yeah.
then dies off gradually, and
Exactly.
people go back again into it. So I think
Exactly.
it has to be sustained.
And
What do
then
you
the
think,
other- and
Matty?
the one thing I would like to add just short, because now the last 2 years, a lot of Eritrea they came. This
Yeah.
subject it is not finished. A lot of refugees they
Oh,
came.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it is not one time finished, and new people will come.
Yeah.
So the new people you have to inform the law in the Netherlands, the prevency, all these things. The woman living with the FGM.
Exactly.
It is a process.
It is.
Yeah, but anyway, it is time to sustain and to put. As I said, the programs are now ongoing on.
Yeah. Because as long as there is migration,
It will stay.
it will continue because people are migrating and
Yeah.
they are carrying their culture along.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I don't think, I think everything
Helen,
has to
can
be
I-
done
can I
to
add
sustain this
Yeah,
campaign.
to sustain.
Yeah,
it.
please.
Can I add something? Because I think the project we do the last 2 years was Men Speak Out, and it was about involving men. And actually, it's very important to involve the whole family, the
Yeah.
whole community.
Okay.
So men, women, grandmothers, grandfathers, children,
Okay.
to give education to. And now we were doing the research. We were having interviewing and focus group discussion with men, and there were men living in the Netherlands maybe for 12 or 20 years and never spoke about FGM before. So it's the subject to them is very important.
Yeah.
And we also asked them, is it possible for you to decide that your girl is not going to be circumcised? So we discussed with them that it's really difficult. And they say, no, it's for the women to decide. And the women say, no, it's the men to decide.
Oh.
So in the end, we really said it's very important that men and women speak together.
Yeah.
Husband and wife speak together about circumcision, speak about sexuality,
Yeah.
which are all very taboo
Yeah.
things to speak about.
More
but
especially in
very
the African
important.
context. Yeah.
And also, if you speak about sexual satisfaction, women explain to us as project researcher that they are sure that FGM is part of the problems of having a divorce because sexuality is difficult
It's true.
because of the FGM.
Yeah.
And so if women are, for them it's sometimes so difficult to have sexual contact that they say, no, I don't want. And then they think, my husband is going to find another woman. The husband thinks, what's wrong? It's really difficult for me to see my wife in pain during sexuality.
But the fact is
topic
this:
you should-
he goes. It's difficult to see the wife in pain, and then when he wants to also go and marry another one, he goes to the same culture and get again another one that has the same pain. Do you understand me? So I think this whole thing is not.
I think being motivated.
Circumcision should not. Circumcision of the female must not be allowed.
No.
It must not be allowed because if it's causing a lot of havoc, health issues and sexual pain and all, there's no satisfaction. So because as we have just you have explained to us now, I can see that there's no satisfaction to those who sexual satisfaction to those who have this type 3 or type 2 or whatever you have.
Some of them they
none.
have. Some of them they have.
But the good news is that there can be a reconstruction because I the other time you brought us in contact with Dr. Karim. Dr. Karim was cheerfully happy to offer women, a reconstruction. And I also had Dr. Luzen from AMC, the head of sexuology. So he was also here one time. And then he's offering women reconstruction. So the good news is that the thing can be reconstructed. But what I do not know is, can it be like the original that was cut off?
No, there is a lot of controversial also this reconstruction. So it is not yet clear. I think that it is a process yet. Even Dr. Rafat Karimi, he said, I'm not, promised that the woman, they will be the same, feeling all the, orgasm or all these things. I'm not promising that it will come back. So it is a process still that I think maybe the coming years it will come a new thing. Some women, they are very happy to be reconstructed.
Yeah, for the little they have gotten.
The other one, they are not satisfied. So all these two combinations.
But it's sometimes it's also it's not only FGM, but it's also what is sexuality? How do you feel? And it's again talking about it, learning, having knowledge about what is sexual pleasure. What is it? For every woman, for every man, maybe it's something different.
Yeah.
So you need to be in contact with the one you have sex with to say, okay, what are you happy with, and how can you make me happy? And that's a taboo.
It is a taboo, more especially among. I think it is also the level of education, because I talk to my husband. So I tell him exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And he tells me exactly what he wants, because I don't need you to just fiddle my body anyhow, because there's a place you will touch me, then I respond. Except I don't want to enjoy it, then I just keep quiet.
Yes.
And even then, I cannot, you can't have your way, because I'm not in the mood to have it. Okay?
Yes.
So
that's
women
respect.
have to come to the level where they have to talk out. But unfortunately, most of our people from from the African background, I don't know about the white people.
The same. In the Netherlands, there are also people who don't dare to speak about sexuality. Really.
Yeah, they go to the bedroom and they lie just like a wood. They do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? And that
it's
is
also
wrong.
your upraising and your education. But let me tell you, I'm educating people who are highly educated.
Are also
but
naive.
they don't even. Yes, it has to do with education.
But God
also
said it's pleasurable. It has to be pleasurable. I mean, it must be
It's
enjoyed
also,
within the context of marriage. Sex must be enjoyed. So I am an advocate of women and or couples enjoying their sexual act. Okay, don't pretend about it. You must enjoy it.
It's the glue of marriage, I think.
Exactly. So if it becomes something you are just patching up, then it is already the genesis of divorce.
It's true.
So before we sign up, what can you look into the camera and tell us the major thing which you want our listeners to know today about this FGM campaign?
Shall I start?
Yeah, you can, please. 1 second.
I'm always speaking about knowledge. So if you want to educate yourself, go to the site of FSAM.
Yeah, FSAM,
or go to the site of Men Speak Out. Or ask your nurse or your medical doctor about it to give information. All the GGD's in the Netherlands, they have information, and they have nurses and doctors specially trained to discuss this. Or ask the GGD, do you have a key figure in this town who can talk with me? From my own community. So if you are a Somalian living in Amsterdam, you need a Somali key figure. If you are from Nigeria, you live in Amsterdam and you want to talk to a key figure from Nigeria, it's possible.
Yes.
And you can find them through FSAM.
FSAM.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think I can say that as an African woman, I think FGM, we can only stop with the people who are practicing the FGM. I believe that because, we have to change the behavior, and the behavior should come the people themselves.
Exactly.
Unless we stop it, nobody other will stop it. So we have to stop it, FGM.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I concur with you, my Sarah.
Thank
I
you very
concur
much.
with you.
Yeah.
FGM has to come to an end. Please leave the thing of the women alone, because the way God made them is perfect and good. Right. Thank you so much,
Thank you very
Martin,
much.
Thank you,
for being
Helen,
with
for
us.
having me. Yeah.
Thank you, Zara,
Thank you
for
very
being with
much.
us.
Yeah,
And thank you, our audience, for
Yeah.
watching. Should you
Yes.
please want to listen more to this broadcast, remember you can always get it on YouTube. God richly, richly bless you and stay tuned. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.